गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदवेदाङ्गवेदान्तविद्यास्थानेभ्यः सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अथा तो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा जन्माद्यस्य यतः शास्त्रयोनित्वात् तत्तु समन्वयात् ईक्षतेर्ना शब्दम् गौणश्चेन्नात्मशब्दात् तन्निष्ठस्य मोक्षोपदेशा हेयत्वा अवचनाच्च हेयत्वावचनाच्च स्वाप्यया गति सामान्यात् श्रुतत्वाच्च आनंदमयोभ्यासात् आनंदमयोभ्यासात् page 113. Second paragraph. सूत्राणि त्वेवं व्याख्येयानि ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा इत्यत्र किम् आनन्दमयस्य अवयवत्वेन ब्रह्म विवक्ष्यते उत स्वप्रधानत्वेन इति पुच्छशब्दात् अवयवत्वेन इति प्राप्त उच्यते आनंदमय अभ्यास आनंदमय आत्मा इति यत्र ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा इति स्वप्रधानमेव ब्रह्मोपदिश्यते अभ्यासा असन्नेव स भवति इति अस्मिन् निगमनश्लोके ब्रह्मण एव केवलस्य अभ्यस्यमानत्वात् विकारशब्दात् न इति चेत् न प्राचुर्यात् विकारशब्देन अवयवशब्दः अभिप्रेतः पुच्छम् इति अवयशब्दात् न स्वप्रधानत्वं ब्रह्मण इति यदुक्तं तस्य परिहारो वक्तव्यः अत्रुच्यते नायं दोषः प्राचुर्यात् अप्यव्यय अपि प्राचुर्यादपि अवयवशब्द उपपत्तेः प्राचुर्यं प्रायापत्तिः अवयवप्राये वचनमित्यर्थः अन्नमयादीनां हि शिरादिषु पुच्छान्तेषु अवयवेषु उक्तेषु आनन्दमयस्यापि शिर आदीनि अवयव आन्तराणि उक्त्वा अवयव प्रायापत्या ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा इत्याह न अवयव विवक्षया यत् कारणम् अभ्यासातिति स्वप्रधानत्वं ब्रह्मणः समर्थितं तद्हेतु व्यपदेशाच्च सर्वस्य विकारजातस्य सानन्दमयस्य कारणत्वेन ब्रह्म व्यपदिश्यते। इदगं सर्वम् असृजत। So we were seeing about the Anandamaya Prakarana, and in this Prakarana it goes from 12th Sutra to 19th Sutra. We had seen 3 parts of our discussion. First part was the commentary of Bhagwan Shankaracharya supporting the Purupaksh. Second part was the refutation of the Purupaksh. And third part is the establishment of the Advait Mat. The commentary just now what we read is the third part, which he has given in short. Longer commentary he gave in support of Purupaksh. Now you heard Purupaksh had given 2 main arguments to support his point. 2 main arguments was, one argument was that there is nothing further to say that this Anandamaya is the sheath of someone else. Like Annamaya, Anyantaratma word has not been used after Anandamaya. And second thing, he said that immediately after Anandamaya, the Prakarana of Brahm is coming. And therefore, this Anandamaya alone is the Brahman. To refute this point, you heard yesterday, and Bhagavan Bhashyakar said, he said no. The Anand Atma word has been used, and therefore you cannot say that nothing else is coming. And second thing what you had mentioned, that topic of Brahman is coming immediately. So don't forget that this Anandamaya course concludes with the Brahmapucham Pratishtha. Therefore, Brahman word which is mentioned later on is not for Anandamaya course, but this Brahmapucham Pratishtha that is there. And around 5 arguments were there to differentiate between the Anandamaya course and the Ananda Atma itself. I will not repeat, I had repeated few times. We had seen that point, you must have written it. Somewhere it was mentioned. From the angle of Mayat Pratyaya was mentioned. Somewhere it was mentioned from the angle of support, that Pucham word has been mentioned, therefore support is different than this supported. And somewhere it was mentioned through every other point. 6th argument, which is not presented here, we took it from Taittiriya Upanishad. The Sankraman word was used in the 8th section of the 2nd Valli, Brahmanand Valli. Anandmayam Atmanam Upasankramati. Upasankraman means transcends. So transcends word means disidentifies. If the Anandamaya Kosh was the Atma, was the Brahman, then that means he is disidentifying with the Brahman itself. So that is also not right to say. How can you disidentify with the Brahman or the Atma? You can disidentify with an Atma. You cannot disidentify with what you originally are. This is the last argument. If you remember, we had concluded on this point. That was seen. So first two argument was there, interior, and then second argument was about the Nigaman Shlok, and third argument was about the Mayat Pratyay. If you remember, fourth argument was that Anandamaya has a part, it has a component, Priyatyadi is there. Fifth argument was it is a support, and sixth argument was there is Sankramar word that was used. This is how we had gone through the discussion. Okay. Now, therefore, what you are saying, Purvapaksh is saying, is not correct. Now, third part of this Brahma Sutra, which is very important, is a reinterpretation of all these sutras, which Bhashyakar has given in short, in one line he gave. Why he gave it short? Because he felt that we are capable enough to understand. But because we are not capable, therefore we will not think in short, we will go into detailed expression of the Advait Vyakhyana. Go in this Anandamaya Adhikaranam, what topic is under discussion? Topic under discussion is that Taittiriya Upanishad says Anandatma Brahmapucham Pratishtha. And it is being talked, Anandamaya Kosha is talked of, that head is there, left side is there, right side is there, middle part is there, and the Pucham or the tail is there. Okay. You have heard that. Now, one thing where the Purvapaksh comes, just understand it. If you miss it, it will become difficult. If you understand sequentially, it will all become very easy. He says that, tell me one thing. This part which is mentioned, Pucham is a part, limb. Part is always subsidiary to the whole. It is secondary to the whole. Any part is subsidiary. Subsidiary means it is partantra. It is secondary to the whole. It is not important as the whole. Like one part of our body is hand. Compared to the whole body, hand is not as important as the whole person. And rather, that hand is dependent on the person. If the person will die, hand will also die. But it is possible you can remove the hand, still the person may live. So, anshaha anshim ashrayati. The part is dependent on the whole. ठीक है? Anshaha, amshaha, amshim ashrayati. This ansh part is dependent on the whole. Purvapaksh is going on. Don't forget, within the discussion. Now he says, Purvapaksh, he says, this Brahman has been introduced in the Anandamaya Kosh as a part. Because tail is a part. Tail is a part of Anandamaya Kosh. So, because the tail is a part, Brahmapucham Pratishtha is going on. Because tail is a part, therefore it is avayav of Anandamaya Kosh. Because it is the tail, it is the avayav. And Anandamaya Kosh is avayavi. Avayavi means whole. And avayav means part. So what you want to say? No, I want to say that Avayava is number one secondary, Amukhyam or subsidiary, and second thing is Paratantra. It is dependent. Any part is secondary to the whole, and any part is dependent on the whole. Okay, when you say this person is coming, we don't say hand is coming, leg is coming, head is coming, stomach is coming. You can't say like that. So, the conclusion is two conclusions. One is part is secondary, and second is part is paratantram or dependent on the whole. Okay? Fine. Therefore, because Brahman is introduced as a part, therefore Brahman is secondary to Anandamaya Kosh, and Brahman is paratantra or dependent on Anandamaya Kosh. See from where to where the topic has gone now. Now what is the purpose of this section? Purpose of this section from 12th Sutra to 19th Sutra is to say no. Brahman is not secondary, Brahman is the Brahman is the main and not secondary. Only but it is right what I am saying, you are saying, but I also have to say. Only what will establish? I will establish two things. Brahman is Pradhan and Brahman is Swatantra. So you mean to say 8 sutras, 8 aphorisms, starting from Anandamaya Abhyasat, will establish this point. Yes. But why are you discussing all these things? Because you created a controversy. Because you brought out a topic. Or there is ambiguity in that subject. There is ambiguity in their subject. I will not take a subject in which there is no ambiguity. There is no discussion. Where you feel the points of Brahman is not very clear and there is a little space to go here and there. Therefore, I will come into discussion. Who is saying this? Ved Vyas Bhagwan. Ved Vyas Bhagwan is saying this, that because you are bringing, now Bhaskar will support it now. He will now say, okay, this is the point here. Okay. Now, please note, now we are going to see this each sutra one by one from 12th onwards. So 12th sutra is Anandamaya Abhyasat. You have seen you can write somewhere or you can mark 12th sutra 1.1.12. First sutra, first chapter, first path and 12th sutra. So always try to write the sutra in your copy and bracket you write 1.1.12. This way you will remember which path is going, which chapter is going. Okay. So, what is the preposition now? What is the preposition now? Now please get my point. He is saying that if you want to put in Nyaya language, how will you say? Brahma Anandamayasya Puchham Bhavati. Brahma, this is Nyaya language. Anandamayasya Puchham Bhavati. Puchhatvat. The Brahman is the tail of the Ananda well. Puchhatvat, because it is the tail. Go Puchvat, like the tail of the cow. Ho. Ataha Brahma Paratantram Bhavati. Puru Paksha square. Brahma Paratantram Puchhavat. Okay. Here, now Bhashyakar says, here comes Bhashyakar. He says, first tell me one thing, this Brahma Sutra is to establish Brahman and not to establish the Anandamaya Kosha. Because the very first sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. And therefore the purpose is defeated of the Brahma Sutra if you are establishing the Anandamaya Kosha. Only then he uses the sutra in this manner. Very, very important point is there. He says, don't read that Anandamayaha Abhyasat. Don't read like that. Then you read like that, Anandamaya Puchrupam Brahma. So you add two words there. Anandamayam, Anandamaya Puchrupam Brahma Swatantram Abhyasat. So don't read straight away that Anandamaya. So this is a Madhyam Lop Samas is there. Don't read like Anandamaya Abhyasat. So what shall I read? You read Anandamaya Puchrupam Brahma. So you add Puchrupam Brahma and you add Swatantram there. Then it will be appropriate to say that. So here the analysis is not about Anandamaya. Analysis is about the Brahma. I hope this point is clear. Only how are you saying like that? Well, I am telling you how I am saying, I will tell you now. Please get my point. Now the general analysis is going on of that particular sutra. So please get this important point. Anandamaya, you don't write it. So Anandamaya Puchrupam Brahma Swatantra. This will make the whole sutra appropriate. How can you say like that? I am telling you how I am saying like that. Because after this sutra, after this prakarana, after this Anandamaya Vyakhya, there is a Rig Ved shlok, which is called Nigaman Shlok. Yesterday you also that. In that Nigaman Shlok, the total description of the Brahman is there. Asanniva sabhavati asad brahmeti. Acha, what you find? We find that there are 5 Nigaman Shlok in the whole chapter. Second, Brahmananda. After every kosh, one Nigaman Shlok. Tadapyesha shloko bhavati. Tadapyesha shloko bhavati. Tadapyesha shloko bhavati. So after Annamaya we see one Nigaman Shlok. After Pranamaya another Nigaman Shlok. After Manomaya another Nigaman Shlok. After Anandamaya another Nigaman Shlok, which talks about that particular kosh. Very important point. Every Nigaman Shlok which is coming after a particular kosh talks about that particular kosh. So the Nigaman Shlok that comes after Annamaya talks about Annamaya. Nigaman Shlok which comes after Pranamaya talks about Pranamaya. It is like a supporting statement. So one Ved refers to another Ved to support it. And this is the Pranalaya. It started like that. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Ved Nihitam Guhayam Parme Vyuman Soshtote Sarvan Kaman Brahmana Vipascha. So Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. Okay. Very good. But I have a problem. How do you follow my point? Not follow. Shall I see the book or leave it? Leave it, I think. After Anandamaya Kosh, the Nigaman Shlok does not talk about Anandamaya Kosh. See, अब देख ही लेते हैं यार ऐसा बोले I brought the book, let us use it. If I had not brought, you should not have seen it. देखो, after second you see, after second mantra, you see na. So Akash Atma Prithvi Pucham Pratishtha Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. So Pranam Deva Anuprananti. So that interior kosh is the Pranamaya kosh. And Tadap, after third you see, Yato Vacho Nivartanti, interior Tasmad Vai Tasmad Manomaya Tasyesha Eva Sharira Atma. Tasya Esha. This is what I am talking here. Dekho, please don't rush. You are seeing the word Tasya Esh Eva Sharira Atma. Not seeing. See this, after the third mantra, you see Tasya. Esh is referring to Pranamaya. And Tasya is referring to Annamaya. So this Pranamaya is the Atma of the Annamaya. Similarly, if you see the fourth mantra, there also you see Tasya, second language. Tasya Esh Eva Sharira Atma. You come to the fifth one. There also you see Tasya Esh Eva Sharira Atma. Okay. So this is referring to that kosh. And the description of that kosh. Okay. But after the fifth mantra, there is no description of any other kosh describing which is related to Anandamaya kosh. There is no description. So Anandamaya kosh is not given any importance. Rather, Nigaman Shlok is talking about the Brahma. Asannev sabhavati asad brahmeti chedved asti brahmeti chedved santaminam tato viduriti. And tasya esha eva sharir atma. So here tas is of that Anandamaya kosh, this Brahman is the Atma. So Anandamaya kosh is not given importance, but the importance is given to the Brahman only. And therefore, Brahman is independent of the Anandamaya kosh and not dependent on Anandamaya kosh. So what you want to say? You had brought the point of tail. You said tail is dependent and tail is subsidiary because it is a limb. So first thing you understand, that which is the Atma, which is in innermost, is not dependent on the outer. Outer is dependent on the inner and inner is not dependent on the outer. Although Brahman is mentioned as a tail, but Brahman is mentioned as the Atma of the Anandamaya kosh. And therefore this Brahman is interior to the Anandamaya kosh. And therefore it is not dependent on Anandamaya kosh. This is the point here. But why the tail is mentioned? Because it is as though tail. It is not really a tail. In the Nigaman Shloka, the word Brahman has been repeated. That means it is giving importance to Brahman and does not repeat Anandamaya Abhyas. So Punha Uktatvat. So Anandamaya Abhyas is not the Abhyas of Anandamaya. It is Abhyas of Brahman. So Brahman is repeated in Nigaman Shlok. And all the later portion is focusing on Brahman. And therefore not on the Anandamaya Abhyas. So Abhyas word should not be taken with the Anandamaya. It should be taken with the Brahman. See what beautiful explanations. He said, there is no talk about Anandmaya at all. There is no abhyas. Abhyas means repetition. Is it okay now? Not okay. See, everywhere, he is using the word Brahman. Asanyev sabhavati asad brahmeti vedachet. Well, if somebody says Brahman is not there, let's go. Topic Brahman pe. If somebody says Brahman is not there, he himself will not there. Asti brahmeti chet veda. 6 reasons were given why Brahman is there. Santamenam tato viduriti tasyaishaiva sharirātma ya purvasya tadanupathātonu prashnaha uta vidmanamumre lokam pretya kaschan gacchati. Everything is focusing about Brahman till the 7th, and there is no mention of Anandmaya Atma at all. And therefore what? This Abhyas word is not for Anandmaya, it is for Brahman, which is the base of Anand. So Anandmaya Pucharupam Brahma Swatantram Abhyasat. This will be the whole statement what I have to say. Abhyas means what? Puna uktatvat. Being said repeatedly. It is repeated. Puna uktatvat. ठीक है. Now this will be a perfect sure now. Okay. This is the general meaning of the whole sutra now, which will make sense now. It is making sense. Anandmaya is not the topic of Brahma Sutra. And you heard that Anandmaya cannot be Brahman because of 6 reasons we gave yesterday also. Okay. So Anandmaya is not a main thing here. It is not given importance in Vedanta. Now word meaning, if you say, how the word meaning, there are 2 words. One is Anandmaya, other is Abhyasat. So here Bhashyakar says, Anandmaya should not be Vachyarth. Vachyarth means direct meaning. Then what it should be? Anandmayastha Brahma or Anandmaya Prakarana Pucham Brahma. Is that implied meaning is that Brahman which is mentioned in the Anandmaya Prakarana. In the portion of Anandmaya, the Brahman which is mentioned, that is the implied meaning of Anandmaya, and you have to supply one word called Swatantram. Anandmaya Pucharupam or Anandmaya Prakaranastha Pucha Brahman. In the section of Anandmaya, the Brahman which is mentioned, this is the implied meaning of Anandmaya. Which Lakshana is this? Jahat or Ajahat? Jahat or Ajahat? Ajahat. You are adding something. Retaining it, you are adding it. In Jahat, you leave the whole thing. In Jahat, you leave the whole thing and take a new meaning. That somebody is saying that, see, he is behaving like a king. He is behaving like a princess. Are you Prime Minister? So this is Jahat Laksha, where you leave the whole meaning and take a new meaning. Like, the people come here and they go late in the house. So they say, okay, Swamiji has come now. You also become Swamiji. So this is a Jahat Laksha is there. And Ajahat Lakshan is there when you say, okay, you say two words or take, two morsels of food before you go out. It doesn't mean two exactly. You mean you can eat more. So you are adding to it. So retaining the thing you are adding more, that is called Ajahat Lakshan. So here it is Ajahat Lakshan. Don't forget whole life. These sutras. So Anandamaya Prakranastha Brahma, either you say like that. Either you say Anandamaya Pucham, Pucha Anandamaya Pucha Pratish, Pucham Brahma. And you have to add, supply one word called Swatantra. Then only it will have any meaning. And this is the meaning, real meaning of the sutra. So what is now ultimately how the sutra will be drafted? Anandmayastha Brahma Swatantram. And Hetu? Abhyasat. Abhyasat. Abhyasat is a Nigman Shlok. Abhyasat means punah punah uktatvat, because it has been repeated in the Nigman Shlok. The topic is being repeated in the Nigman Shlok. Only but what about the tail? But tail was said like that only. I'll come to it. So this is the conclusion of this 12th sutra. This is the conclusion of the 12th sutra. Now I am coming to the 13th sutra. Are so fast? Yes. 13th sutra now. Please repeat after me. 13th sutra. Which page is it? 128. Please repeat after me. Please, just a word of caution here. Vikar Shabdat. Here neti word has been used. This is not neti. Na iti. Na iti will be opening. Although we'll say neti, but don't equate with that neti. So please repeat. Vikar Shabdat. Na iti ched. Na prachuryat. Again, Vikar Shabdat. Na iti ched. Na prachuryat. So after ched, there is double na is there. Cha ta has become na now. Now please see how both the sutras are linked together. There is a sutra sangati also. Anyway, I am not going into that detail. Now Purva Paksh kiya. Don't forget the main topic. Main topic is, remember that Purva Paksh is saying that Brahman is Paratantra and Apradhan in all 8 sutras. And here Bhashyakar is saying, or Bhagwan Veda Vyas is saying, that Brahman is Swatantra and Pradhan. So, the last sutra, Purva Paksh, he said, now Purva Paksh is raising the question. He said, it is fine that Brahman is repeated. You are saying, Abhyasat. Yes, I am saying. Abhyasat in the Nigman Shlok, you are saying Brahman is being repeated. I agree. Well, but I somehow don't accept that argument. Well, why you are not accepting that? Because your logic is indirect. What I will tell you is direct. Well, what you have to say directly. Because something is direct and something is indirect. Direct and indirect. What? Something is directly seen and something is inferred. It's called direct and indirect. I saw it raining. This is one. And because it was wet, therefore I inferred it was raining. So one who says directly is more powerful. Only what is your direct point? Well, my direct point is Vedas itself say Brahma Puchham Pradishta. You are downplaying this statement. Well, oh, what do you mean? Because Puchham means tail. Yes. So tail is a portion of the body. Yes. It is avayava. Avayav, not avay. Avayava. It is a part of the body. And part is dependent on the whole. Pratantram is there. Yes. And therefore I am saying, my direct point is, the part cannot be swatantra. And subsidiary, he is again coming to his own point. So if this Purupaksh is raised, the Sutra answers this Purupaksh. If this Purupaksh is raised. So, what is the Purupaksh? See, the Sutra itself is a Purupaksh and Uttarpaksh. Vikar Shabdat Na. This is the Purupaksh Bhag. Vikar Shabdat Na. This is Purupaksh Bhag. And iti chet na prachuryat, this is answer. You write it separately. You will be missing it. In your copy you write, make it 2 part. It won't be clear in your book because it's too congested there. You write Vikar Shabdat Na. And then you indicate this is Purupaksh. Because Niti is joined there. Vikar Shabdat Na. You point and say it is Purupaksh. And iti chet na prachuryat. This is Siddhant Bhag. Okay. So 2 portions you make it. You break the whole sutra into 2 parts. What is that now? Now Bhagavan Vedavyasa is saying, well, I agree with you that the word Puchham is used. But let me tell you, this Puchham is not a literal meaning here. It is a implied meaning. Well, what is implied meaning? Adhararthe lakshana. This Puchham is implied meaning to tell that this is the support. So, Puchha Shabdasya Lakshana Adhararthe. It is to tell the support is the meaning here. It is not to tell that it is attached to the whole. Don't take the literal meaning everywhere. Meaning is to tell that this Brahman is the support of the Anandamaya Kosh and not to tell that it is a part of Anandamaya Kosh. Generally, when the Puchham tail word is used, even with the bird, because it supports, otherwise bird will fall down. If tail is not there, bird will fall down. So as if the tail is supporting the bird. An aeroplane also has the same concept. The tails are there of the flight. If the tail is not there both sides of the plane, I don't know plane can fly or not. No. It will fall down. So it is more a literal meaning you are not taking. Don't take a literal meaning of being attached to the whole. Take a implied meaning that it is a support, that's it. Don't everywhere start taking a literal meaning. Like it is said that, he is the heart of the organization. Don't take it a literal meaning that heart is there and he is attached to the whole organization. Heart has only the meaning that because of him things function. Or chicks are the hands and legs of the mission. Hands and legs doesn't mean that literally they are attached. They are do the running work, therefore they are called their hands and legs. Okay, that is the meaning. Don't take it literally everywhere. Like the running nose. Running nose does not mean that nose is running. English is a typical language. Nose runs and feet smells. Huh? All the English words are like that. You have to shoulder the responsibility. He has to shoulder the big responsibility. Acha, I cannot stomach this fact. Now his stomach has become worm now. I burned my fingers with him many times. So many words they use like that. I'll bring him to my knees. To his knees I'll bring him. Like that they use the word. So he is saying, he means Bhagavan Vedavyas. It is interesting, all sutras are very interesting. Provided you have read the Upanishad and you have well thought about what is Brahman. He is saying that Brahman word, Pucham word, is not a literal word. You take it as implied word of support here. Don't take it as a part here. And why you are not taking the word Pratishtha? It is said Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. So Pratishtha itself means it is the Adhishthanam. Is it okay now? So Pucha Shabdasya Adhare Lakshana na tu Avayavartha. See, Lakshan is of Adhar and not a part. Okay. It is not to say something like he has bitten the dust. I'll make him bite the dust. I'm not that he is biting the dust, etc. It is a Lakshana Vritti. That means he has been defeated. Okay. Well, but why should Brahman confuse? Why is it Upanishad confused like that? I'm already a confused person. I have come here to remove the confusion. Why should Upanishad make such statements which create a problem for us? Why can't it say something right and directly so that I am not confused, I am totally clear? See, I'll tell you why. Upanishad has used the word Pucham in all previous koshas, if you remember. Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, for the sake of Upasana. For the sake of Upasana. Upasana means he was contemplating on that portion. So, Upasanartham Pucha Shabda Prayogaha Annamaya Koshe Ityadi. It is used for the push of Upasana. So that a person can understand what exactly is the portion. Tasya anvayam purushavidaha tasya praneva shiraha vyano dakshina pakshaha panuttar paksha akashatma prithvi pucham pratishtha. That this microcosm is not different than the macrocosm. That Upasana was there. Mirror. So, similarly, tasya yajureva shiraha rig dakshina pakshaha samuttara pakshaha adeshatma tharvangirasa pucham pratishtha. And in Vigyan Kosh, how it went on? In how it went on? Tasya shraddhaiva shiraha rig dakshina pakshaha satyam uttara pakshaha yogatma mahapucham pratishtha. Means what? This Anand Vigyan mein Maha means Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the base of this particular mind. You can see the Bhashya set. So when you are doing an upasana, therefore the Pucham word was used to say that this is non-separable. Okay. So Upanishad is continuing the same trend. It is a trendy thing. But here the trend is creating confusion. Well, that is therefore we are talking about that. Oh. So Upanishad uses the same word for continuity and for going ahead with the majority. Be very, very careful. It is using the word Pucham for continuity because that was the trend used like that. Something we used out of the trend going on. Tradition is going on like that. Okay, it's a tradition to use like that. Don't go to the literal meaning and try to put that without the tradition. Okay. Okay. Like supposing, you are there when we were in Brahmachari. So we had put white dress at that time, like you had put on. So somebody came and said, Swamiji. I said, Arey, Swamiji, I have not yet got Brahmacharya Diksha. You are talking with Swamiji? He said, no, this is a tradition, This is tradition is there. Not that I have become Swamiji at that time. An interesting thing I'll tell you. So when our course was going on, we were sent out to give talks at that time only. Imagine. To make life difficult. And Bombay was Bombay. Achha, Bombay will travel a lot then. And somebody will come and then he's there. So as we went in somebody's house, like Ghar Ghar Mein Gita is there. So you have to talk on any chapter of Gita. So our Acharya said, you should all get training of talking. So I went there, somebody's house. Ab bhaiya aarti shuru ho gayi. Aarti they started doing. Nadadra Surya. I said, whose aarti is he doing? I said, don't do my aarti. Bole, no, it's a tradition. Not that we are doing your aarti. But because you are a brahmachari now, or you will be becoming a brahmachari in few days, therefore we are doing it. We are not doing the aarti of a person called such and such person. We are doing the aarti of that cloth which is there. Nice answer was. Because you get a shock all of a sudden. Then at the end, Dakshina was given first time. I was very happy. I said, Dakshina was given, 800 rupees was there. So proud we became, Dakshina is there. We went to the Acharya, he says, Dakshina is there. First Dakshina you offer to the Acharya. Those people try to treat you as normally they treat the brahmachari or a Swami. So you are also there. But it was not to the person. Always never personalize what you get honor. You'll be in trouble after that. It is to the parampara. It is going to Lord Shiva. Your puja is going to Lord Shiva and Lord Ram, whatever is your wish. Or your Gurudev or your Guru is going, who has made me what I am. It's called paramparya, not vyaktigat, not to individual, but to the parampara it is getting. Because the trend is going on, therefore still is the same trend is maintained. Okay, not that the person has qualified or he has lot of capacities or he is Mahatyagi and therefore we are doing his worship. I hope you got my point. He has no capacity as such. He is not a Tyagi. If you start seeing the person per se, you don't see so much of Tyag or so much of renunciation or so much of knowledge. He can't leave Kam, Krodh, Irsha, Dvesh, Alasya, Mad, Matsarya. 100 things will be there. So if other person who knows him very well, he said, what is this? Well, Swamiji, this is a wrong tradition. We should not do arti of these brahmacharis. This is how they change the acharya. I said, भाई let him do it since भाव is there. ये तो परंपरा की आरती हो रही है, उसमें क्या हो गया यार? Why are you afraid of that? Why are you afraid? बोले, but no, brahmachari should not do. We should not do arti. Only arti should be of Gurudev. I said, भाई, they are a part of the Gurudev only. You cannot crush the emotion of a person whose house we go there. ये तो ब्रह्मचारी है, कुछ तो है उसके. Some tyag is definitely there, otherwise how it become brahmachari? They discuss. Some Swamiji told me. I will not name the name of the Swamiji. If you, otherwise you will guess. We should stop all these things. I said, when Gurudev didn't stop, why are you stopping? It's parampara hai. Well, but that person, it is up to that person, he should not take it on himself. When arti is done, mala is offered, we don't take it on ourselves. Already, abhiman is of the past, so many things. Why do you take a new abhiman? As if earlier problem was less, you are adding to the new one. But why stop anybody's emotion? Well, we should stop all these things, arti, prasad, all this. I said, don't stop. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop anybody's emotions. Got my point? So you get dakshina also, you get the parampara. Or any elderly Swamiji we see offer pranam, parampara. I don't see who is that. If I see any Swamiji of any tradition, of any, whether he is from any XYZ mission, he is a Radha Swami person, or he is a Akshardham person, or he is belonging to anybody, I will offer my namaskar from a distance only. This is our tradition. That when two Swamijis meet, or anybody you see in the Akaru, anywhere, in the railway station, in the airport, you just do a namaskar. Now you don't think who is he, is he Swamiji, or really he is like that, or he is putting, don't do discovery at that point. ये परंपरा हम लोग की है. We say नमो नारायण Swamiji. Use the word नमो नारायण. नमो नारायण. नमो नारायण is used for sannyasis. नमो नारायण. If somebody doesn't watch you, then you can't go, don't disturb him. Wait, Namah Hari Om Swami. Don't disturb. From a distance, if you see that he is seeing, then only you say. Don't disturb anybody. Otherwise it looks arrogant that you don't wish anybody. Especially when you are young. Even if you are old, you should wish. Sinu and Swami Akhandanandji became Dandi Swami. Dandi Swami, they carry a staff there. Must have seen like that. And that staff has a cover of the cloth. So they are not supposed to offer namaskar to anybody. They don't say Hari Om also to anybody. So he went to the Baba. He said, this is what people are saying. Baba said, bhai, doing namaskar with Ishwara Bhava, what is wrong in that? In everybody there is God. Just think that God is there and offer namaskar. Say Hari Om, say namaskar, Namo Narayana. You don't become small like that. So something are with the trend and tradition it is carrying on. So your Pucham word, because it was in all the four koshas for the sake of Upasana, therefore Pucham word has been used here, not that the Vedas or the Upanishad is trying to create unnecessary confusion for you. See, this is a discussion of Brahma, is different kind of ways there. Okay, I agree that. And second cause, well, what is it? This will be good, more important cause. Well, what is that? If Brahman word was not used as a pucha, Upanishad would have missed to introduce Brahman. There is an opportunity to introduce Brahman, and Brahman is always introduced with some conditioning. Pratibodh viditam matam. So without conditioning, you cannot talk about Brahman. Brahman has to be revealed through some upadhi. So nirupadik Brahman naiva vacha shakyade. You cannot talk about Brahman without a upadhi. And last upadhi is Anandamay. Therefore, Upanishad utilizes the opportunity. And this Anandamay is the subtlest of all the koshas. It is the subtlest upadhi. We can say more exalted upadhi is there. And therefore, it uses the opportunity to introduce the Brahman. I hope this point is clear to you. So, it uses the opportunity to tell what is being told. That Adhar of Anand, of the Annamaya Kosh was Pranamaya. Adhar means inside, that which sustains. Don't think Adhar as like this table, the chair is the Adhar. Here Adhar means internal, sustainer, vitalizer. That which gives life to another. So that which gives life to Annamaya is the Pranamaya. That which gives life to Pranamaya is the Manomaya. That which gives life to Manomaya is Vijnanmaya. That which gives life to Vijnanmaya is Anandamaya. That which gives life to Anandamaya, it is not the literal meaning of part here. It is more a vitalizer, internal life giver. So, Brahman is introduced with the upadhi of Anandamaya Kosh. I hope you have got the point. So two things are mentioned because of the trend and because Upanishad is not missing the opportunity to introduce Brahman. Okay. Introduce karo bhai, mauka hai to introduce karo. Otherwise, how will you introduce? You need to start something new to introduce Brahman. Now, this is the general meaning of the sutra. Now write word meaning. We'll see each word of the Upanishad, of the sutra. So, what is the first word? Vikar Shabdat. Vikar Shabdat na. I told you there are two parts. One is the Purpaksh Bhag, other is the Siddhanti Bhag. So here Vikar means avayava. And Shabd means expression. So Vikar Shabd means Avaya Shabd is there in the Upanishad. Part word is there in the Upanishad. part word is there. So how will you make the whole sentence? So vikar means what? Puchrup avaya shabda. Because it is mentioned as a part. So can you make the whole sentence? No. Because it is mentioned as a part, and therefore na will go with swatantra. It is not independent. Brahman is not independent. So vikar shabdat anandmayastham brahma na swatantram. This is Purpaksh. So after na, you write swatantram. So vikar shabdat, after vikar shabdat, you put bracket and you write anandmayastham brahma. Because it is mentioned as a part, therefore this Brahman is not swatantram, it is not independent. This is Purpaksh. Na swatantram. So after na swatantram, this na is of Purpaksh. Iti chet. After iti chet comes the Siddhanti. Now, iti chet, Siddhanti is coming now. Now he is saying, see the word here after that. Na again is coming. Iti chet na. Che na. Iti chet na. Na partantram. He is saying Brahma. After iti chet you put Brahma. Iti chet Brahma na partantram. Siddhanti is saying, Siddhanti here means Bhagwan Vedavyasa is saying Brahman is not dependent. So after na partantram you will get. And the hetu is given, cause is given, prachuryat. Prachuryat. Prachuryat means predominance. Predominance. Predominance means what? The word pucham is not to indicate an avayava, but because it has been being used in dominance earlier. Therefore the word has been used because it was used as a trendy dominance. Mainly it was used. Prachuryat here means because mainly this word has been in the trend to use in the all previous koshas, Anna mein, Pran mein, Mano mein, Vigyan mein. So here pucham word is used in the meaning of adhar and not in the meaning of avayava. So see the whole sutra now. Not that easy. Not that easy. So vikar shabdat na. This is the Purpaksh portion. So he is saying because of the vikar shabd, Brahman is not swatantra. And here the Vedavyas Bhagavan is saying iti chet, bole Brahman na partantram. Here partantra word has been, you have to supply. And prachuryat means because of the predominance of the word pucham used in the earlier. Therefore, you need a lot of commentary to explain all these things. So, commentary on Brahma Sutra is very big and voluminous. And sutra, the rule of the sutra is that you have to make very crisp. It should not be verbose. That lot of words, it is not the sutra then. You can't write one paragraph and you can say this is my sutra. It's not a sutra. Like Narad Bhakti Sutra is there. If you see that. I hope this is. So two Anuman are there and that has been put in one sutra. It is not over, this sutra. I have to go through some more points which we'll see tomorrow. But come with some revision to get a proper. Then we will go to another sutra. One small point is there. Then I'll move on to tad hetu vyapdeshacha. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.